Okay, so I am hidden. I can hear the footsteps. Are they gonna come here? They're coming this way. He's opening the door. And he knows exactly where I am. Threw a grenade right in front of me. Boom. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a cheater. Hello everyone, my name is Godohandos. I'm a gamer from Greece. This is a Greek YouTube channel. However, the entirety of this video is going to be in English because it is going to be part of our Reddit post to be posted in Escape from Tarkov subreddit, so it targets an international audience. So the topic of the video is cheating. Over the last 2 weeks I did a pretty substantial experiment in over approximately 200 raids, and in this video I'm going to go through the methods, the reasons I did the whole thing, and the results. Before we start, I want to say that I freaking love this guy. This is Nikita. He's the COO of Battleseed Games. He's responsible for the game, and I really appreciate everything he's doing. Like, look at this guy. Woo! So if you don't like this guy, you don't have a heart. Like, I would love to travel to Russia and have a vodka with him and the developers. They seem like a pretty fun team. A nice place to work at. They seem to be doing the game that they love. They're doing their best. So I don't want this video and the Reddit post to be misinterpreted as me shedding on the developers or putting unnecessarily strain on the relationship with the community or stirring things up in the community overall. The reason I'm doing this post is there was a number of previous posts on cheating on Reddit. Our recent one is one that said, so I did an experiment, and there's a guy who claims that out of 350 rounds, approximately 2/3 of them had cheaters inside. Now, and there's been another one like a year ago, similar one. Now, by the way, this got like 2.1 thousand upvotes, a 94% ratio. And the other one, this may have less upvotes, but this was on the on the front page for quite some time and sparked a pretty huge discussion, 500,000 comments. And this one also has approximately more than 500,000 comments. So a lot of people were pretty annoyed by the claims here. So the other one, he said that he was actually a cheater and got banned, and he would give information, right? So he says he was cheating for quite some time, and then he also claimed that 3 out of 5 raids had cheaters or something like that. And the problem with posts like these is that they made pretty exuberant claims. So 3 out of 5 in this one, 2/3 in this one, and they just do not provide any evidence whatsoever. This guy said that he's gonna post GIFs and videos the next day. It's been a year, nothing has been posted whatsoever. He's gone dark. And in this, there was no evidence posted. Like, the guy said that he restarted his profile. So first of all, why would you do this? Like, there's a wipe coming. Why would you reset your profile? There's no reason. And also, he uploaded an Excel file that has the results of this experiment. The problem is that if you open this Excel file, right, this is the file, experiment tracking. The problem is that, let me close some of these things. The post was made on Friday, July 19th, 8:49 in the morning, and this file was created after this post was made at night. Now, July 19th, 10 o'clock at night. So, and this is not when I downloaded it. When I downloaded the file is, well, right now, which is on the 2nd of August, right? So this should be like weeks before this was created. Now, I want to be perfectly clear. I'm not saying that what these guys are describing didn't happen. This could actually be a cheater, and they could have encountered this problem, and this experiment described could have actually happened. There could be perfectly good explanations for the lack of evidence and for the evidence pointing towards the other direction, that this didn't happen. That being said, these claims made here are pretty exuberant. There's no evidence for them, and there's evidence to suggest that they didn't happen. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. There could be good reasons that it did, but there is no evidence. And I was actually quite sad to see that a post with no evidence got 94% upvoted, 2.1 thousand likes, and even more sad to see that people pointing out the actual fact that there is no evidence and that the math seems to be a bit excessive, like this is very unlikely. People just pointing that out got downvoted to hell. Like, you would think that out of a community of 100,000, we shouldn't be able to see such huge negativity to people just pointing out facts. Now, again, this is not an attack on people who wrote this stuff. This could have actually have happened. This is more of a discussion about when you see a post on Reddit overall, you really need to evaluate the evidence, especially when the claims are exuberant, when there is significant claims. So what did I do? I went ahead and did my own experiment, and I will try to provide as much evidence of how I conducted it, evidence of the results, because I wanted to quantify this problem with the cheaters. Now, again, this is not a shady post to the developers, and I'm not being negative overall. I try to be to provide constructive feedback to the developers and be part of the community, a useful member of the community as much as I can. I did one of the posts that where I redesigned the menus. Do you remember this one? This was one of mine, and the pretty much claim was that we had to hasten the raid selection. And after this post, in the next update, we got a ready button that skipped insurance and stuff, so it was quicker to go in the raid. Also, do you remember how the traders used to be? This is how the traders were. It was a huge cluttering mess. You had to scroll down if you wanted to buy something from a mechanic. And then there was another post, also made by me, of a concept for a clean look, right? And after this post was made, in the next update, we actually got what we have now with the traders, which is pretty much the same thing, but with square images for the traders. So I try to contribute as much as I can. I don't try to be negative. I don't want to stir things up. Nikita, please don't ban me. That's the main point of this thing, right? And also, I do understand that there is a bit of a dynamic in any community where things can get overly negative, and other times you get overly positive, and you have to strike a balance, right? So do you remember when Nikita said this in the podcast?
To all of this, and we just need to listen to you more, the community. And you know, there was a Reddit picture when it, like the first one, like the people pitching about delayed updates. It was like the picture, they stand down near the BSG office with the transparency and stuff. Like, yeah, the delayed, some fix it, fire clean and stuff.
Like, me getting crucified on Reddit.
Yeah, and as I remember, I said that, like, I was saying, like, the patch delayed. Oh shit, come on. And the next picture, like, the patch is released and everything are super happy. Like, they have us thrown up with the rainbows. Like, the game is beautiful. Thank God, thank God.
You gotta take it with a grain of salt. Of course, when people
right. So what he said over there was this post, which this post was also made by me, right? It was back when they said that the wipe would have been on March, and people were complaining about the rain, and there was an erotic video on the FPS tied to fire rate. Like, people were up in arms, and after the patch goes online, I said, like, okay, everyone's gonna be, this is amazing, and everyone's gonna forget. So there are ups and downs in communities, and the Tarkov gaming community is not exception to this, right? And I just want to show I do understand this happens, and I do try to provide constructive criticism, and this video on cheating is a result of this previous post with lack of evidence, right? So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get to the point right now and just tell you exactly what I did, how I did it, and the results. So let's go. What I did was I went to the game and I hid in places of the map that people were very unlikely to go, right? Here's where I hid on Factory. I picked these places very carefully, right? People should have no reason to actually check me out there. Now you might think that everyone comes up here on Factory, right? There is a nice little spot that many people do not know. This is what I would do. I did this in different maps. I'll show you the other ones afterwards. There's another little place behind this couch, and you can actually crouch here, not go prone, and you cannot be seen. And most people do not know this. And I had a friend of mine show what people would look when they came in the room. So you can see there's nothing seen. There's no weapon up protruding. There is no head or legs. No one has any reason to check behind this couch, right? So this is what I did on Factory. Then I'll show you also on Shoreline. Now the people. So in this post, the guy claims that he went to places in the middle of nowhere, in bushes and stuff, or in rooms that had nothing inside. Now I decided to avoid bushes because they do not always render from far. So if someone killed me and I was hiding in a bush, it may be because he's far enough and he can see me because the bush doesn't render, or it renders but it's two-dimensional, so it doesn't cover everything. And also I didn't want it to be like the experiment described here. I didn't want to be in the middle of nowhere. I don't want to be in a bush in the corner of the map. Now there's a few reasons for this. One, it can be hard to get there if I spawn in the other side. And two, if you're a cheater, you want to go where the action is. And if I was a cheater and I go, for example, on Shoreline, on the sanatorium in the middle of the map, and I see through my wall hack that there is a cheater in the edge of the map that is also a hatchling, that this guy was, why the hell would I go 3 minutes away to kill a hatchling? Like, I think if I did the experiment in the way described here, I would actually not target as many cheaters as I could. So this is the reason why I went to this room on Factor, which is exactly where the action is, in the middle of the map, near where the loot is, but in a place that people should not look. And also on Shoreline, initially I actually considered going in the middle of nowhere. So this is the drone, and there is a house nearby that has absolutely nothing in it, and you can actually prone in here. This was the original place I thought I would hide, and no one has any reason whatsoever to come here. If someone finds you here, he's probably a cheater, or like he may come and just to check the place out if it's like a new person, but it's very unlikely someone would do this after thousands of raids. But again, if someone is a cheater and he's very far from you, he wouldn't redivert and waste time coming just to kill a hatchling over here. So instead, I didn't pick this location. I picked another location on Shoreline, which is in the middle of the action, which is in the sanatorium. So here is the administration building. Here is the helicopter. I went to the west wing. And so here are the middle stairs. Right. So not many people know this, but this door right here actually opens, right? There's absolutely nothing here. Most people I asked a lot of people. I was in a Discord with like hundreds of people inside, and no one know this room. Absolutely no one. So, and I played like 50 raids on Shoreline. Very few people actually came here, and there were. I'm going to show you the results later. So the people have no reason to enter this room. It was in retrospective, having done the experiment, it was a pretty good choice. It's in the middle of the action. A cheater wouldn't have to waste time coming here, and most people don't know this is an actual room. Most people don't open this because there's nothing here. A pretty good choice. And then on labs, let me show you on labs where I went. So in labs I had different locations depending on my spawn. So if I spawned to the stair part, I had one of the locations. Again, a lot of people do not know that this door you can actually open. It's one of the toilets. So one of my locations where I hid was here. I would come immediately, close the doors. I would leave everything as I found it. If the doors were open, I would leave them open. If they were closed, I would leave them closed. In some toilets, there are actually open. So I would go there, hide, put a Bitcoin on. I will explain about the Bitcoin and stuff later, but I just want to show you what I did. Now, if I spawned below, so towards this side of the map, You can also open that door that you just passed, but I didn't want to do it because I have actually checked it several times. So if I spawned around here, or around here where there's another spawn, I would go into this toilet. The first door is open, the other door is closed. I would leave everything exactly as I found it. I would like to point out that in the toilets that I hidden, there is no actual loot. There could be a bar of soap or a toothpaste or something. But if you go into labs, you wanna. This is one of the other toilets that can actually open very close to the other one. This is also a place where I would hide. So again, in these toilets, there are bars of soap and toothpaste spawning, or maybe a toilet paper. Usually people don't play labs to go and loot toilet papers and soaps. They go to play to kill raiders, they go to the high loot areas. It is very unlikely that someone is going to go to these places and loot as they would do like any other map, especially since they added the labs access card, so you wouldn't spend that much money to loot items that are very cheap. And so those were the toilets in the other side. And if I spawn towards this side of the map, especially in there's a spawn around here, and also there's a spawn on that corridor. So what I would do is I would run here, go down the stairs. Now the reason I picked hiding locations very close to where I spawned is because I didn't want to be heard going into these locations. So if I spawn up here or in the other side, other spawns in this area are far enough not to be heard, so they wouldn't be able to hear me going in these rooms. And the same with the spawns in the other side of the room. So this is the place where I would hide. This is some locker, and this door is closed. So I would close it again and go into one of the showers. And this is one of the videos I showed when this video opened. So these are the locations in all the maps where I would try to hide, right? Okay, so let me show you now the results. So Shoreline, I went to 3 maps: Shoreline, Factory, and Labs. So I had to go to Labs because it's the place where everyone complains most about the cheaters. I went to Shoreline because I wanted a nice big map and I preferred it over customs for a number of reasons. And I also wanted to go to Factory, which is the poor man's Labs. I think it's a good description. And there are a lot of people there. It's very easy to find a full server, so I would cast a very wide net. So let's start with Shoreline. So what I did was play 50 raids per map, right? And half of them would be me just as a hatchet, like the guy describes in his experiment, and the other half would be with me having some loot on me. So the loot I would have would be a Bitcoin and an AK. Now the reason for this is now I cannot actually show you a screenshot of cheats being used because I want to avoid trigger happy admins on Reddit. They don't allow this stuff. So I'm going to do a cartoonist illustration just to make a point, because it is directly relevant to this experiment. So if this is what a cheater sees, right? This is a screenshot of the game. Obviously we all know that cheaters have very huge private parts. So I think in first person you should be able to see that. So if this is what a cheater sees, and I am behind this wall, the cheater should be able to have some indication, some sort of indicator like a square or a box or whatever, that I am behind here. And now most of you know this stuff. You can Google and see on YouTube how these things look. I'm not gonna like put screenshots again as I show, but some of them would have the cheaters would actually know which direction you are facing. So they would know you were facing towards the left direction. They would know where you're pointing your gun at. And as you are moving, this would track you. And because this is a looting game, they would have something like this guy has an AK-74N and also has a Bitcoin in his pocket. Now, and again, all this would be tracked. And one other thing, in these experiments, I actually tried in a lot of the times to, because they would know the direction I am facing, I tried to look as little of a threat as I could. So I wouldn't be like this. I would be like more like this. So facing downwards with my little gun, The reason is that as I said, I didn't want to be a threat. So if someone is cheating, they could have a wall hack, they could have an aimbot, they could have both. But there could be people that only have a wall hack but don't have an aimbot, and because the places where I hide have only one exit, they may think that their life would be at risk, so I could still kill them when they open the door, so they might not come at all if there is no loot in the room. So I try to look as much as AFK as possible, so they would actually and be in the middle of the action. You see, these locations are very close to where loot and action is, so that they would actually come and kill me without being worried. Right, so 25 just with just as a hustling, 25 with a gun in my hand and a Bitcoin. Oh, it's also important to say that in most of these or YouTube videos and screenshots, they wouldn't actually know how modded my gun is. So they would show them that I had a gun, but not how modded they are. So again, the reason I did half as hustling and half as having some gear and valuable items on is I wanted to see. I was actually concerned that if I just go as a hustling, they wouldn't waste their time killing me anyways, even if I was very close to them. Now, this didn't turn out to be true. They would kill me anyways, but I wanted to test it out. So here are the 25 rounds I played as a hatchling in Shoreline. You can see that I captured this with NVIDIA Shadowplay, and it saves it with the name of the date where this happened, so this 19th of July, and the actual time that this happened. Right, and when the raid would finish, I would just add in the end of it if I was found or not. And this that says ABC is from one raid. This is from another raid. So this is not 3 different raids. This is one raid. This is each one of these is one raid, and if it has ABC, it's part of one raid. So 25 times I was found 2 times, and I'm going to show you these times now. Right. So I'm in the toilet. I'm waiting. I can hear movement outside. Let's fast forward it a bit. You see here he opens the door. Then he closes the door for some reason. He leaves and then he comes back with a friend. Look at this. Let me put it from start. So he comes back with a friend, which is geared. He's a hatchling, and they just flash their flashlights on me, and they actually let me live, which was a nice touch. So actually a lot of people, well, not a lot, well, some people who find me actually let me live. Now, I actually didn't think this guy was a cheater, because if you're like me, you've had many cases in which you would enter the game with one of your friends who is new to the game, and then you would have gear and they would have like a pistol or something. They wouldn't have much, and as you go through the map, they would open every door just to see where is everything. I think this case was one of this. So there's a guy that's a hatchling opening the door because he is new to the game and just happened to come along, and then his friend, this is his friend, and they just let me live. So I have no reason. Now, they could actually be cheaters. I just think that this is a problem with this type of experiments, that some people may actually come at you by accident. Now, I want to stress that most of the other times where they found me, it was pretty clear that it was no accident. You will see why, but it was pretty clear. So, and this is the other time where someone found me. Again, you can hear the footsteps. Right, this was actually quite weird. So he's outside the door. He shot me through the wall. He's moving again. And now, this was kind of weird because he hasn't opened the door, right? His gun has he's facing the door. His gun is passing through the freaking door over here, and then he just fires a shot with his, what is this, like an M4 or an HK or something, and I just die. Now, I'm actually not sure this guy's a cheater. Well, actually, okay, I am conflicted for one reason. It is possible, I have seen in previous posts on Reddit, that for one person the door is open, but if the game has bugged, for another person it could be closed. So I may see the door here being closed, but for him it may be open. I don't know if they have fixed this bug, but this could be one of these cases, although it was pretty weird how he shot me through a wall before. By the way, you may have noticed that these videos are not the entire round. These are 60-second videos. So I didn't take either 30-second or 60-second. So the way I used Shadowplay was to capture the last 30, 60, or 1.5 minutes. So I don't have enough space in my hard drive to capture 200 raids. But I thought this would be pretty good evidence to show this, because it actually shows the time of the raid. It shows in the bottom left that, well, when I play it, okay, so in this part you can see that each match has a distinctive code. So you can see that in all the videos there's a different code in the bottom left. You can see that I am in this room at this time in a different match. So and all of these are different. Like FSFX is the code of this one. Let's go another one, random one. This is LVD9, and in all of these, I get this one is 2JSL. And also I have to mention that I didn't stay for the entire raid. In Shoreline I stayed until the counter went to 30 minutes. In Factory I stayed until the counter went to 17 minutes. And in Labs I stayed until it went, I think, to 30 minutes again. Now the reason of this is I didn't think I had to stay for the whole round. And in retrospect, having done the experiment, it was actually a pretty good decision. Because after these rounds were over, if I survived, if no cheater found me, I would actually go around the map and just loot locations that were unlooted. And in all the times that I did it, no one killed me in any weird way, or most of the times I was alive, so nothing weird happened after this time. In the places where I was found way before the 30-minute mark, or way before the marks in the other maps. Right, so these were the 2 times that I were found on Shoreline. Oh, by the way, what was the... So this match where he showed me through the door was 2IKJ. So I've seen Nikita make comments in some other posts where people had some lag or something. And I think he has access to his file, so he could be able to see if for the server this door was actually open for this match, or if this door was only open for the opponent or closed for me. Like, I don't know, maybe he can check this out just so we know if this guy's a cheater or not. He probably is, because he shot me through the wall before, but I'm just saying. So 2 out of 25 when I was as a hatchling, and then 3 out of 25 when I had a Bitcoin with me. So you can see again, sometimes I would stay for even more, for even longer than when the timer was on 35 minutes. I would stay like at 25 minutes, an extra 10 minutes. 1, 2, 3 times. I also had a connection problem. So there was a round that I would have this stupid anti-cheat connection lost. And other times where I would have server connection lost, but because this happened very close to my threshold, so I would be close to 30 minutes, so I decided to count this out. So they didn't find me here. I reconnected, and I stayed until it didn't take long. So you can see that the connection was at 9:48, and I had reconnected in 3 to 4 minutes. So I counted this as one of the matches, so although there was a connection problem. Right, so now let's see the ones where they found me in Shoreline. So this is one where they found me. This is match MTE2. That's the code of this raid. Let me fast forward a bit. Okay, so this was a scav player that found me. He may not be a cheater, because he may just be a noob that happened to drift here. Plus, you can see that when he comes inside, he's aiming downstairs towards the door. He is aiming on me, and then he freezes a bit when he sees me, as if he's surprised, I think. Like, you never know, but this is the feeling I got. and then he comes in, I don't know, he checks behind me or something, I don't know why, and then he closes the door, at which point I shot him. Because I thought, okay, he's closing the door to kill me. The point of the experiment is whether they're going to fight me or not. It doesn't matter if they kill me, actually. So I decided, well, why the hell? I might as well kill him. So again, this may not be a cheater. And let's see the other one. So again, Shoreline. I have an AK and a Bitcoin in my pocket. Okay, so this guy... You can hear him, well, you cannot hear me very much, so he's coming closer. He opens the door. Anytime now? Oh, come on. Okay, so he opens the door. He misses because he's... I think we killed each other there. So, these are weird situations. Like, if it is possible this is a guy who had a wall hack, but he did not have a aimbot. Well, he 100% did not have an aimbot because he cannot hit. Because he cannot hit shit. I mean, 1 meter, and he fired like 3 times. And we did we kill each other? Yeah, we killed. So we killed each other. So again, this might not be a cheater. He may have come by accident. Actually, no, I don't think he came by accident because he came very slowly and opened the door. There's no reason to do that. I was very careful, as with factory and as with labs, to come here without anyone noticing me. I would only come here when I was spawning close enough for me to run here and come here first. And also I would make sure that there are no footsteps around when I would open the door, and I would check some of the places. So there's really no reason for him to come and open this door. But again, it is possible that he opened it for some other reason, just to check. So, and the other one, let's see the other one. Right, so you're gonna see a full gear player opening the door. Anytime now. He's coming. He opens the door. He freezes. I don't know if he expected me to be here or not. I don't move. He closes the door and then he leaves. So I recorded that, and then I actually, when he left, I put the Bitcoin from my pockets to my Gamma, but then I heard him, he was coming back, and this is the third part of the same raid. Right, so... Okay, so he comes back, and as you saw, I actually killed this guy. Right. So first of all, we can see he does not have an aimbot. He fired, but he hit me in my arm or torso. I didn't die immediately. So I think this was a case in which a guy had first of all, before he came and opened this door, there was a fight near the stairs. Not the stairs, the stairs near the tennis court or something. So I think that this guy killed some guy and came here to throw his loot, which was insured. No, to throw his stuff, which was insured, so he could go gain some more loot. I think this is a good scenario for why they found me. So this was the times where they found me in Shoreline. So 50 rounds, 5 times found. It is possible that some of these were not cheaters, especially the Hatsling guy. But again, I'm showing you the evidence so that you can decide for yourself. So if you count them all, 5 out of 50, it's a 1 in 10 chance of finding a cheater. If you exclude the people who in my opinion were found me by accident, it would be a 1 in 16 raid chance of finding a cheater. So this is Shoreline, right? The other maps are more close quarters. Things are going to get more interesting. So again, this is a pretty low ratio. This has nothing to do with the 2/3 or 3 out of 5 that the other guys said they did. So the guy that did the experiment here, he didn't go on labs. He just did an interchange factory, Shoreline, and custom. So the results that I got do not support what is written here or what is written in the other one. Right. So let me close this. Never mind. Right, so now we go to factory. Okay, so these are the raids from factory. I was found 4 times out of 25. This was when I was as a hatchling, right? So this was one of the times. This is raid L0 and 4. By the way, especially in factory, before I show you this, I want to show you something, because people might have problems with the location that I picked. The problem is that to get here, you need to breach the door, right? So and it's the middle of the map, so people can hear that someone is around here if they spawn nearby. So I would only count these rounds if I was able to hide, but without and I was pretty sure that no one was nearby. But even if they're nearby, very few people know that you can hide behind the couch. I just want to show you that. So within footstep distance, there were these times where people found me, but while I was hiding and while I was opening the door, I could hear them moving. So they could. I was 100% sure that they could hear everything I was doing. Let me show you an example. Right. So you can see I'm going to the room, breaching it. I can already hear some footsteps here. I would also open other doors on purpose, right? And then I would hide on the... Oh, wait, where is this? So then I would jump to hide. In the beginning, I actually closed the door, but in the other raids, I left the door open. I thought it was much better to leave it open, so to reduce suspicion. Because if you breach the door, then it just says open the door. So people who pass and check the door, they might think that there's someone inside. So I don't have time to hide. It's actually not very easy to prone here. You have to do some little tricks to prone here. And within... So this was at 0 seconds. I get in, and within 10 seconds you can hear the guys already outside. He heard me breach the door. He heard me jump on the couch. So I'm 100% sure that he knows exactly what... and not only that, but I actually managed to kill him. So this is very unlikely to be a cheater. And I had 4 of these, which I excluded. It's another one. So at this point, I'm starting to hear footsteps on the stairs. You can still hear footsteps on the stairs. It takes some time to prone, and again you hear the footstep. He's almost on the side of the bridge or something. So again, he's very close. He's gonna come here within a few seconds. He jumps and kills me. So I didn't count this as a cheater either. Now let's see the first one as well. Again, this was in the beginning. I don't have the whole thing of me going inside, but he opens the door. I'm pretty sure he has heard me, so I just go up and shoot him. So these were the 3 that I decided to exclude because they were way too close, and I couldn't verify that they came here because they saw me as a wallhack. There was other reasons. They just scared me go in, and it's a small room, like they would search. This was a bit suspicious, the 4th one. So again, I open some of the doors, I breach, I leave it open. So at 0:20 approximately, I do all this, and you can already hear him. I'll just put, you can already hear the guy. He's very close, so you can hear the steps. Like he's going up the stairs. He's coming towards here. He's around here now. You can hear the steps. Like he's gonna run, and then he's gonna kill me immediately. Now this was suspicious because he killed me very fast. However, you can see that first of all, he heard me. He's very close. Secondly, he runs by, and I do this all the time. I run by a place and then I twist my neck to the right so I can see who is in the room. So I'm pretty sure. So he heard me coming in. He went here and saw what he was running, exactly where I was, and then he came out preferring this location. Now again, this was very quick, but he knew exactly where I was. So again, I cannot count it as cheating. I decided not to count it, but I'm showing it to you so that you can decide for yourselves. Right, so let's see the places where I found. So 3, 4 times found. This is for people who weren't close enough to hear me. This happened later in the round. So he comes in. He jumps. And then he leaves. He didn't actually kill me, this guy. This is L0N4. This is the match number. So this is one. Let's see the other one. Okay, so this was close to 31 minutes. This is UE5U. That's the match. He just opens the door, jumps, and kills me directly, immediately. This is the other one. This is close to when I proned. So again, maybe you couldn't count this one either. It's 34. Took me some time to prone in this round. Right, so he opens the door. Here he is. And kills me. Now, actually, I'm not sure why I counted this one, because he was very close to when I proned, and he could have heard me proning. So you can actually discount this one. And this is the other one where I was found as a hatchling. Now, in the factory, there were a couple of times where I spawned in the other side of the map, and I decided not to go to that room on the 3rd floor. So this was one of the spawns where I decided to just stay here. There's a guy who found me. It's a scav player, I think. Right. Again, this is not a very strong location compared to the other one that's behind the couch, so this could actually have been by accident. And in the end, I'm going to tell you the ratio between the ones that were clearly cheaters and the ones that may not have been, right? So this is when I had an AK and a Bitcoin on me. Again, 4 out of 25, the same as when I had a hatchling. So these are more suspicious guys. You can see that they actually throw flashes and grenades. There were quite a few of them, especially in labs. So he hasn't checked me at all. He hasn't. He doesn't know I'm behind the map, and this is at the 27th minute. So this is not in the beginning of the round. Oops, my bad. Let me put that again. So when did I actually check for the time? Right, so it's at 27th minute, so there's been some time since the round started. He wasn't close enough to hear me. He throws a flashbang. And a grenade. And then he just comes and kills me. Right, so was he a scav player? I think he was a scav player. Yeah, so he's a scav player with a flashbang that came into this room, and without checking the couch, he threw a flashbang over there and then came and killed me. So I'm pretty sure this guy's a cheater. This is match DZG3. Right, so I also had one of a connection problem, but I also decided to count this. Was this anti-cheat lost again? Yeah, anti-cheat connection lost. But this was I was out of the raid only for like a minute, so this is no, I was actually quite a lot. So 45, 52. But I reconnected on the 23rd minute. So I decided to nothing happened in this raid, but I decided to count it anyway. So this is where I was found again. Right, so someone is coming. 32nd minute. He jumps and kills me. Well, actually, no, he didn't kill me, did he? Right, so he let me live. However, so this is a scav player, right? He jumps, he finds me, he lets me live. Now remember, this is the guy that has the bandage and the smoke. So after he found me, I recorded it and then continued the raid, and I recorded this afterwards. So this is the same raid. So this is a JQHA raid. This is exactly the same with the other one. Yeah, JQHA. Where are we? Here we are. So he actually killed me later. It was a bit suspicious. I just want to show it to you. So I'm pretty sure he knows I'm in the room. No, so this is another guy. He's not the actual guy. So a guy comes in. I close the door. I loot him. And then you can hear footsteps of the other guy coming. He opens the door and then goes to the other side, and then I come out and I die immediately. Now, this was the same guy, the same scav with the... Where is he? With the bandage and the smoke. So it's the same guy with before, I'm pretty sure. And so I come out and he's waiting already, and then I die with one bullet, like an insta death. These are very annoying. So I thought this was suspicious. It may not be. The guy may be legitimate. You never know. But I just wanted to show you so you can decide. And this run also had a freaking connection problem. This was a server connection instead of another cheat. But again, I didn't stay out of the raid that long. It was 3-4 minutes, so I decided to count. Then I came in and did the. I decided to count it. So, found but not cheater. Oh, okay. So this is one of the other times I was hiding in this location in one of the spawns. Now this guy's not a cheater, but I just wanted to show you it anyways, because it's a bit funny. You can see he's not a cheater. It's gonna be pretty obvious to you. Where is it? Yeah, so it's in the 17 minutes. You can hear the footsteps. He comes in anytime now. He has no idea what's happening. And then the game fucking stutters. And I die. Found but not cheater. Fucking stutters, Nikita! Okay, right, so I didn't count this as a cheater, obviously, even though I was found. So in the number I'll give later, this wasn't being counted. I just wanted to show it. And these are two where I was where I counted. This is when I was in one of the other spawns. I think there was 5 rounds in total or something when I was too far to go to the couch in the 3rd floor, and I had to stay in the spawn. So around 33 minutes. Where was it? Okay, so I haven't moved, I haven't done any noise, I have an AK and a Bitcoin. He comes in and he kills me. Again, this guy may not be a cheater, because he comes in, immediately he's looking towards this direction, and then he checks me, and then he kills me. I think he missed the first bullet and then he headshot me the next. And the last round that I was found is this. I am 28 minutes, I'm behind the couch. This is CMA3 match. So this guy is coming from the left. He's coming here. He jumps directly to the couch and kills me. So this guy's probably cheater. So we have an aggregate. So if you count all the times I was found, with the exception of the guy who with the round with the stutters, it was I was found in 1 out of approximately 6 raids. And if you exclude the guys who appeared to find me by accident, like the guy that wasn't aiming at me, and one of the other guys, it is a 1 in 8.3 raids where I was found while I was hiding in places where there's no loot, right? So we have 1 in 10 to 1 to 16 for Shoreline. We have 1 in 6 to 1 in 8 for Factory, and now we have fucking Labs. So in Labs, things got interesting, right? In Labs, I would not go in as a hatchling. In every single raid of Labs, I would have an AK and a Bitcoin. Now the reason for this is that Labs is a map with a lot of loot, and I wanted to be as enticing as possible as a target, because if you are cheating and cheating on Labs with all the loot available to you, why would you go kill a hatchling? I think there was even a smaller chance. So all of these are with me having an AK and a Bitcoin. Now there was a bit of a problem here, in the middle of my freaking experiment. And by the way, the times that I was found in labs, I think you'll agree most of these guys are definitely cheaters, like almost 100%. They're not as like the things were on Shoreline or on Factory, where they may be, they may not be. These guys were cheaters. They would throw a grenade directly where I was. They would come running, stuff like this. You're gonna see. But before I show you, I just want to show you this. So I started this on the 25th labs, and up until here, so halfway through my experiment. Halfway through my experiment, they would find me one every 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 raids, and then they wouldn't find me for quite some time, for quite a few raids. Now the problem is that on the 26th of July, around noon, Battle State, there would be a post on Reddit. Where is it? So, right. So there would be a post on Reddit about the ban wave, right? Let me find it just quickly. Cheaters. I'm sorry. Right, so here it is. Latest list of recent cheaters banned. This was done. Come on. So this was done on Friday, July 26th at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon approximately. This is where I found out, and most people I think would have found it from Reddit. So in the middle of my experiment, Battlestate Games published a list of cheaters. Now it's important here to mention a few things. A lot of the people in the comments are going to refer to this as a ban wave, like 1,000-something people were banned. However, if you go to the forums, Natalino of the Battlestate Games crew pretty clearly says that this was not a wave, and that they did not do waves anymore. They just announced, this was just the day where they announced it. So the 1,000-something people, well, not 1,000, whatever the number was, these people were banned over a number of weeks or whatever. They were just announced now, so they do not do. They used to do ban waves back when the anti-cheat was new, but they don't do waves. So this was not a wave. This was not a ban wave. However, I think this affected the experiment, and I decided to exclude raids from that day, from within 24 hours. And I have good reasons for this. Now you have to bear with me, right? So again, I started the experiment that day, the previous day, and until that day in the afternoon, and I was found for one every 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 raids. And then after the post was made for the people that were banned, I played 22 raids and I wasn't found in a single goddamn raid, right? Again, this is within 24 hours, so you can see the last one was 4:29 of the 26th of July, and this is the other one, so 4:57 of the 26th of July, and this is all until the 4:25 of the 27th, so within 24 hours more or less, and I wasn't found in any of these. Now, the rationale goes as follows. Battlestate game releases a ban wave in quotes because it wasn't a ban wave, so cheater providers have to update their clients. So for a couple of days or whatever hours after the ban wave, most of the servers do not have cheaters in them because the cheaters are waiting for their cheats to be updated. Now, I think that even though this was not a ban wave, first of all, players were not aware that it wasn't a ban wave. I don't think people would have seen the forum post. No one checks the forums compared to Reddit, so they wouldn't be aware that it wasn't a ban wave. So they would see, okay, the ban people, I might stay off for a couple of days just to make sure that I don't get caught. And also, I actually did go to where is this? Right, so I did Google the Tarkov cheats, and I did go to the web pages of some of the major ones in the first and second page of Google, and some of them would actually have the status of the cheat, whether it was offline or online, or if it was detectable or undetectable, or if it was being updated. And I think it was 2 or 3 of the providers actually they were offline during that time. So regardless if the ban wave was a ban wave, first of all, even if not 1,000 of them were banned on Friday, since it was the last day, it could be like maybe like 20 of them were banned that day. So for whatever reason, a few of the companies that did the cheats had their status offline, right? So the whole reason I'm mentioning this whole thing is because I decided to exclude these raids. These are the reasons that I decided to exclude the raids within the 24 hours, because they seem to be out of place. But again, this was my decision. I'm showing everything to you so that you can decide for yourself if you think these are representative or not, right? If you want, if you don't, and in the ratios in the that I'm going to mention later, I have a number with them excluded, and I also have the number with them, the ratio of cheating with them included, so you can decide which one you want to pick, right? But in my opinion, this one should be excluded because they were within 24 hours of the ban wave. Some of the cheater providers were offline during that time, and a lot of people had seen the Reddit post and would stay away and not cheat for a couple of days just to be sure and they weren't caught. Okay, so here, so we have labs. I played more than 50. I played 57 raids. It says 64, but some of them are double and triples, right? So this is the one where I was found. I'm at the toilet. Right, so he... Okay, so it starts from here. You can see hear the footsteps. He opens the door. Can you wait? I want to hear if he's running. No, he's shooting a scav or something. So he opens the door. Anytime now. So he opens the door, and the first thing he does is he doesn't check for anything. He just throws a grenade. And I die. So this guy's a cheater. Oh, by the way, when was this? Do I have the time? Oh, I didn't have time. Okay, so I didn't have the time of the raid, but this is match 5DMR. I didn't have time to press it. Really? That's weird. Okay, for the other ones I do have the time of the raid. So this is the other one I was found. So this is at the 43rd minute. Raid number 5YYZ. Ah, yes, so I remember this guy. So this is a guy who... it was pretty clear that he knew where I was. And for quite some time he would be around and just... He was in the next room and he was breaking glasses and shooting me through the wall. I think he looked at me as being AFK and he was trying to wake me up or to make me move so he would kill me in battle or whatever. And afterwards, when I didn't move, he eventually came in and killed me. So he's moving around, he's shooting me through the wall, he's breaking glasses and shit. At the 42nd minute. Okay, and then it continues on here. So he's tired of doing noise and me not waking up, and then he comes. He runs to the toilet. Throws a grenade, he misses, because he's a freaking noob without hits. And then throws a second grenade and kills me, right? So this was a cheater, so let's see another one. Exactly next raid. So this is raid 502J. 46 minutes. You can hear the footsteps. He's coming towards here. He opens the door. I changed the Bitcoin. Now, I should not have done that. This is the only one where I did this way. Right. So, I think this is a cheater, but the problem is that in this specific raid, it is possible that he came here by accident, and it's because I changed the Bitcoin after he opened the door that he heard where I was and threw a grenade. And so in the other ones I don't do this. I changed the beacon after he threw the grenade, but honestly, I'm pretty sure this guy's a cheater. It was stupid of me to change the Bitcoin if I hadn't died yet. So, I mean, before him having thrown the grenade. So, but I'm showing it to you so you can decide, right? So another time where I was found. This is in a different toilet. Okay, so this guy, this was match 5R, 4R, and this could actually maybe not be a cheater, because he comes inside, and you can see he's not looking towards me. He's looking towards the floor, where there's a soap that could spawn here. Maybe he's looking for a soap or for a toilet paper, and then he's almost on his way to leave, right? And then he realizes there's someone here and starts shooting. And when he starts shooting, he doesn't kill me directly on the head. So first the one hand, then another, then my legs, and then I die. So he doesn't have aimbot, and he looked like he wasn't a cheater. So out of all these times where I was found, this is the only guy where I think he might not have been a cheater. For the other ones, I'm pretty sure. But again, I'm showing it so that you can decide. So again, this is match 6KEL. Okay, so here's the noise. Footsteps, he's coming towards here. He opens the door. Throws a grenade. I have time to get Bitcoin. So here I did it right. So in the other time I moved the Bitcoin before he has done anything. So technically it's possible that he heard me. And in this time I moved the Bitcoin after he had thrown the grenade. So and all the other ones, so we wouldn't have any problems. So I'm pretty sure this was a cheater. Next time that I was found, this is in the showers. Right, so you can hear the guy running towards here. He's on the corridor, he's running directly here, opens the door, and kills me. Right, so this is probably also a cheater. This was round H9, H8. Let's see the next time that it was found. This is round HH0B. So he's outside. I think he shot me through the wall. I think he's trying to wake me up like the other guy. He was breaking glasses and stuff. But I do not move. And he comes towards here. He's running towards here. Oops. Oh, and the second part of the same raid. Again, this is same game immediately after H80B. So after he's done the noise and I haven't moved, he comes, opens the door, throws a grenade exactly where I am. So I'm pretty sure this guy's a cheater as well. Then next time I was found, this is at 50 minutes, so close to the beginning of the match. This is match number 8RN4. Boom. So this guy didn't come here running, he just came normally and shot me with a shotgun or something. It's possible this guy's not a cheater. Like there wasn't a grenade and stuff, but again, there's no reason to come here, and I died pretty quickly. Yeah, he's probably a cheater. So next time, let's see this one. 51 minutes. The match is HAPR, is the match code. Okay, so he's running towards here. You can hear the footsteps running. Now he opened the door. Boom. I think also this guy's a cheater. So this is match HAA2. I'm in the showers. Oh, by the way, this is the same shower with the other guy who threw the grenade here. So on purpose I decided some of the times to go here, some of the times to go in this shower. So if a grenade goes here, so just to show that they would throw the grenade in the exactly where you are, regardless of, they don't, sometimes they always throw it in the corner, I just thought it would be even more evidence that if you throw the grenade over here, like he definitely knows, like he has no reason to know in which one I am, even if he believes that there's someone here. Right, so HAA2 in the showers at 53 minutes. He's running towards here. Opens the door. He threw a grenade. So again, this was kind of weird because he threw the grenade not directly here, right? So I think we can see where the grenade goes, right? So he aimed over here, which is exactly in the same line where I am, but the grenade went even further. After going here, it bounced and went further. So I had a chance to, I had time to go outside and kill him. So I'm pretty sure this guy's a cheater because he, first of all, he came here running. He came here at all. Like there's nothing in those showers. There's no reason for you to go there. He threw a grenade exactly in front of me. He was unlucky that the grenade like bounced further on, but I'm pretty sure he's a cheater. Let's see another one. So this is match RHE5, 51st minute. Okay, so I think you can hear the footsteps. He's coming towards here. Opens the door. He threw a flashbang, I think, in the beginning. Or he missed. Then I changed the Bitcoin and he threw another one, I think. Yeah, okay. So I'm pretty sure this guy's a cheater. Now, by the way, all of the times that I was found, I did check the nicknames, and with a single exception, all the nicknames were different. The exception is this: the guy who just killed me right now. He also, the guy with exactly the same nickname as the one you just saw, also killed me in this round. Now this is a time where I didn't have time to hide, I think. Or I usually, or actually, right. So this is one of the times where I would come here, but I wasn't planning to count this as being found if they found me, because you can hear the other guy walking while I'm walking, so he's pretty close. So I cannot be sure that he's coming here because he has a wall hack. He could be coming here because he heard me walking and heard me open the door. The only reason where I decided to count it is because it's exactly the same nickname with the guy who found me before. So I'm pretty confident this guy's a cheater. So I come here, but I don't hide. I actually wait for him because I'm 100% sure he has heard me. So he opens the door. So right, so actually you noticed he shot me through the door. You saw the screen went black in the sides when he was shooting me. He shot me through the door towards my direction. Play this again. Right, so you saw the screen went black around, so he shot me in my direction. Then he opens the door. Anytime now. And then I die instantly. So again, even though he shot me through the door, I would not have counted this. I would not have counted this as one of the 57. But the only reason it needed to be is because the nickname in the end is the exact same nickname with the guy who found me in this one when he opened and he just threw a grenade and killed me, right? These were the same nickname. So this one was match. Which match was this? RHE5 and match RSR3. By the way, the reason I'm not showing you the nicknames is because on Reddit they did not allow people showing the nicknames, so we don't start witch hunts and stuff. So that's the reason I'm not showing you, but I'm telling you the match, the number of the match. So if Nikita wants to check these, he can do this. That's the only reason I'm mentioning the codes of each match. Right. So then we have another time where I was found. This is on match RU2R. I'm on the showers again. Right, so this is around 50 minutes, pretty early. Right, so you can hear them. They're running towards here. I can hear two sets, so it's probably a squad of cheaters, or at least one cheater in the squad. They open the door. They shoot me before actually having seen me, so they shot me through the shower. I had enough time to move the Bitcoin, and then they kill me. So definitely a cheater. Right, and then so these are the ones that I counted. So in the last round that I played on labs, I wasn't found, but it's pretty ironic that this was the last round. So these three are from the last round I played. So this is a round in which I went. This is RZ04. So I went to the showers. I wasn't found until the 30 minutes, which is how long I waited. So I put the Bitcoin in, and then I proceeded to move to go and play the match normally, just loot, see if there are any raiders and stuff. So after I left here from this match, I went towards this location because I heard some noise, and something very interesting happens. And this, I think, shows one of the weaknesses of this whole method. But also it shows that there could be false positives or false negatives. It could be cheaters that you cannot catch in this way, because these guys did not come to kill me. So again, I was in the showers. I reached 30 minutes. No one came and found me. I put the Bitcoin back in my gamma, and then I came towards here because I was looting and I heard a grenade or something come on. So I am exactly below the medical unit where the defibrillators are in, with the many steams above me. And these guys, there are two people in the room upstairs, and they're shooting at raiders, right? So I am below them. I haven't done any noise, and I'm going very, very slowly. This is the same match, RZ04. And you can see, you can hear them walking exactly above me. Right, exactly. Even though I am moving at 0 speed and crouch, so they shouldn't be able to hear me. But they're moving exactly above me. Like, I can hear them. They're exactly here. And as I move through the corridor, fucking Stutters, they're still above me. So I said, okay, this is weird. So I decided to like change directions and stop. And you can see that they do exactly the same thing. So I think they can see me through the freaking wall. So you'll see, they are still above me. Now I think they were using the hatchet or whatever to hit the ground exactly where in the other side of the wall here. And again, they're still moving exactly above me, even though I started in the other side of the corridor. They're exactly above me. So I decided to change locations, direction, and now they're moving exactly above me. So again, this was a 1 minute, and after this, which was strange. So these are all the same raid, and this is exactly the reason that it has different names. DVR is when I tell Shadowplay to capture the last 1 minute or 30 seconds or whatever. If it doesn't have DVR is when I press it to continuously capture. So I captured the whole raid after this one, for this raid. So this is 23 minutes, right? So you can see this is exactly after the previous one, right? So they are above me, they're tracking my movements, moving exactly above me, and using melee weapons to the floor above me. And then I changed direction to go to this side. I was going the other side before, and now they're going that side as well. And you're going to see that I'm going to stop and they're going to stop, and then I'm going to move and they're going to move. Not every time, but enough times. Look at this. Again, they're exactly above me. They were here before, now they're here, and I am here. So I stand still, they stand still. I move a bit, they move. I stand still again. They stand still. And then I move, and they move again. So, again, this is, again, possibly a cheater. What was it was RZ04. I just give you the name so that if Nikita has kept the logs from this, he can actually maybe see the game from their side, so he can see if they are tracking me through the wall above me. I just wanted to show you this. So again, I wasn't found in this raid. I was in the showers. No one found me. But I decided to record this anyway, just to show you that that any estimates that come from this experiment are very conservative overall. Like, there are going to be people. Oh, by the way, I want to show you that after I figured this out, I ran towards the. Oh, I didn't run. I decided to go towards the one of the showers, one of the toilets, and I just waited here until the raid. I wanted to see if these guys would actually come here and kill me, and I waited for the entire raid until like a minute, and they actually passed through here. I think you can hear them towards the end of the raid. At that 2 minutes, they passed through here. Here. Okay, so they pass through here and then they go to the extraction. Right, so the point is that they let me live. I left, no one killed me, and I went to the extraction normally. So this is one of the cases when there are possibly cheaters inside, pretty likely, but they don't come and kill you when you're hiding. So the whole thing is conservative. These are the ones that I was found. There could be places where I was. There could be several raids that there were cheaters inside, and they decided just to let that guy to not come after me, to only kill you if you go to them. And also the problem with these experiments is that you can have false positives. Someone may just come inside by accident. I think we saw some of these before. So now the false positives may actually balance out some of the false negatives, but again, I'm giving you all the information just so you're aware. Right. By the way, on the other maps, on Shoreline, for example, you can see that I played on peak hours, what I consider to be peak hours, so from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until like 10 or 11 at night, and this is at time in Greece. So you should assume that the time, European time of the countries that play most in Europe are Germany, the UK, France. Right, so most of the users should be from these countries because they're more populous countries. Those countries have -1 hour or -2 hours for England compared to these times. So for Shoreline, all of the raids were in peak hours from 3 o'clock approximately in the afternoon towards around midnight, before midnight. Again, 7, 8, so all of these same hours. Now for Factory, this wasn't exactly the case. For Factory, I would play some of them early in the morning. The reason I did this is because I noticed that Factory, no matter what time I got, except it was early in the morning, so if it was 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, the servers could be actually almost empty. But at the times where I played, I could always hear a lot of noise, a lot of bodies afterwards, so I was pretty confident there were a lot of people in Factory. It's a small map, it's very few players, so I was pretty confident that the servers were full, despite the early hours that some of these were. Again, Shoreline I played peak hours, Factory I played some peak hours and some that were in the morning, but the servers seemed to be full. Now on Labs, I mostly played after noon and before midnight. However, not always, so I would try this because these are the peak hours. These are the times where servers are going to be full. More players means that I have a wider net. I have more chance to catch the cheaters. Now I did also play some raids that I were either very early in the morning or after midnight, and I did decide to exclude these, but I just want to show you so that again you get to decide which ones you want to include or not. So if we go to MISC, we have so these are 17 raids that are, the times here are after midnight, so you can see here from midnight until 4 o'clock in the morning. So these are very extreme. And while I was in these raids, although I could hear gunshots and stuff, I think it was like maximum like 1 person or 2 or maybe just 1 squad, so the servers were not as full, and in my opinion the results will not be representative of the experience that most players would have, because most of you play at peak hours. And you can see that I played 17 raids before noon and after midnight, and I didn't find any cheaters whatsoever. Not one of these times. Again, I went to the same places. I actually stayed quite late in this one, and I wasn't found. Right, so let's put a couple more just random. So I stayed in the end. I have the Bitcoin AK and I wasn't found. So where does that leave us? So if you only count the peak hours, so between noon and midnight, I was found 1 out of 4 raids approximately, right? If you include the raids, those 17 raids that were very late at night or very early in the morning, I was found, so including those, I was found in 1 raid out of 5.7 raids. And if you include the raids that were within 24 hours post the ban wave, then it would be 1 out of 7.4 raids. So again, I could have just shown you this, and which is the worst case scenario, but I showed you all the data I have. I showed you the different ways in which you can see that, so you can decide. So I think this is pretty accurate with the peak hours. In my opinion, this is the one, but I showed you everything so that you can decide which one is representative. Right, so I think this is right. Oh, right, so this is pretty interesting. This is like a last thing I wanted to say. So I also kept the Stutters, not all of them. Like there are quite a few Stutters. Let's see some examples. I just want to put this in perspective, like what is the biggest problem. But let's see some of the Stutters I had. These are some of the raids. So in the raids that I would stay alive, after I reached towards the end of the round, I would actually get out of the room and go play the game or go to the extraction or whatever. And okay, so this is a Stutter. You can see this. So that's a scav. I'm trying to shoot, and then 1, 2, 3 second freeze or Stutter or whatever you want to call it. Let's see some of them, like some random ones. Just I want to show you how big of a problem this is for me. So 1, 2 second Stutter over here. I don't know if you noticed this, because to make it bigger. And these are Stutters that are during the... So again, these are the Stutters after I have done the experiment. So after I recorded me being at the 30-minute mark in the bathroom. So the server should be mostly empty for most of these. And again, I get the Stutters. Let's see some other examples. Well, this is after I open one of the doors, I think. So 3-4 second Stutter there. Well, 2 second Stutter. Let's see one other. So here in this one there are raiders. 1, 2 second Stutter over there. Oh, this is the one where I showed you before, where 1, 2. This is a Stutter that prevented me from jumping. So I get these fucking Stutters all the time. So this is not like, these are not rare. I get the, look how many Stutters I got, and these are only some of the severe ones, right? I got far more than this. And I think I made a post about this. So there was actually, this is one of my posts. I did a poll on Reddit, so 1,500 people answered approximately. This was back in February. I don't know if this now, if we do the same one, now you can see back then cheating. Only 5% of people thought that that cheating was the worst problem. Now, if you do this poll again, I think cheating might be right around here, a couple of points afterwards. But again, most people had the problem with the Stutters and freezes and netcodes and lags. I just wanted to point that out. So even if you get cheaters in the game, if you get cheaters in 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 8 raids, you still get 7 out of 8 raids where the game is clean. However, if in those 7 out of 8 games you don't get smooth gameplay, this amplifies the whole problem. And also when you get Stutters and freezes and someone kills you in a weird way, you don't know, is it because the connection lagged? Is that because it looks in your screen that you died immediately? So this is also a problem they have to fix. Right, so where does that leave us? Let's see quickly. So again, Shoreline 1 in 10 to 1 to 16, Factory 1 in 6.2 to 1 in 8.3 approximately, and Lab 1 in 4.4 to 1 in 7.4, depending how you count. These are the final results from this experiment of over 200 raids. Most of these guys, especially in labs, were pretty clearly cheaters. By the way, but I also show you the ratio excluding the people who were who probably were not cheaters, right? So this seems to be the overall issue. So ranging from 1 in 4 to 1 in 16. Pretty variable. Lab is the worst offender, as we would all suspect. Now, none of these is as severe as stated in these posts. So my results show a problem with cheaters, especially in labs. 1 in 4 is very excessive, especially in peak hours. This is very annoying. Like, I would expect it to be like 1 in 10 or something. 1 in 4 is just too much. That being said, it's not as much as being claimed in this post. So this post claims 2 out of 3, and this post claims 3 out of, well, it wasn't this one. So this post claimed 3 out of 5, and the other post was what was it? 2 out of 3, right? Right. So 2 out of 3. So my results do not support what the other people said. They still show a problem, but we all know that there was a problem anyway. I just wanted to quantify the problem, right, with some evidence, as much evidence as I could provide. Now, my main problem out of this, well, not my main problem, this is just like a funny thing I wanted to do for the end of this video. So I spend a lot of time on the fucking bathroom on Shoreline, right? And I think there's a very big problem here. I spend a lot of hours looking at this toilet, and I freaking noticed that the upper part doesn't, that the lower part is like oval, it's wide, and the upper part, when it closes, it would be like around here, right? So the upper part doesn't match the lower part, right? So Nikita, is this all a game to you? Like, this game is fucking unplayable. Okay, so I just wanted to put like a funny thing in the end with one of the things that I noticed. This was pretty annoying for me, right? So again, I hope this post that I made in this video provides some constructive criticism of the game by quantifying the problem with the precise ratios. By the way, this was on EU servers, right? One of the other posts said that he was on the American servers, Seattle servers or whatever. So this could be another reason why this result didn't match. Right, so I wanted to quantify the problem, show as much evidence as I could. I wanted to also show that it's not as bad as people claimed, but it's still, but especially on Shorelines, I think like 1 in 16 and 1 in 10 is pretty tolerable. It's fine. On labs, 1 in 4, 1 in 5, 1 in 7, this is not fine. Like, this should be much better. So I hope my post is seen in a good way. Again, this is not a shit post to the developers. I just wanted to do what is described here with providing some evidence and have an accurate representation of what is happening in the game. And I hope this is how this is seen. And I'm looking forward to the next wipe, especially to see the update on the Stutters. Well, having done this experiment, I personally still think that Stutters are a much bigger problem than cheaters. Because when people kill you with cheats, like, you kind of understand, okay, this guy's a cheater, I don't care, but I really need smooth gameplay. This is my view. But especially on labs, I think this has to be from 1 to 4 to, it should go like to 1 in 10 or above. Like, I'm not expecting unreasonable changes, like to completely eliminate cheater. Every game is going to have cheaters. No matter how much money you throw at the problem, there are going to be cheaters. I would just expect in the popular maps for it to be just dealt better. So from 1 in 4, if you take it down to 1 in like 11, 12, like 1 in 15 or something like this, that would be tolerable for me. That would be just fine. If we can make labs and factory as Shoreline is, that would be great for me. So that's, I think, a reasonable expectation. To expect like approximately 1 in 10 to 1 in 15. I'll be fine with that. And to fix the freaking Stutters. So I hope you appreciate the post. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.